Well, you know, if nothing's going to get you fired up, I tell you, isn't that amazing? Fantastic. Way to go, Fabian. Let's hear it for Fabian Middle School. What about Cockrell? I haven't seen Slaughter Elementary anywhere. Where's Slaughter? Or Webb? Where's Webb? All right. And I want to hear it for the school that Fabian is going under construction, but McKinney High School. Let's hear it from McKinney High. And what a great job McKinney North did with their band. And although we don't have any students from Boyd High School, let's hear it from Boyd High School. Where's Boyd? All right. Well, we can't hear from every school, but I just want to tell you, I am so proud to be superintendent of schools here in McKinney. And one reason I'm so proud is I get to work with just a tremendous group of individuals who work tirelessly in board meetings. They don't get paid like charter school boards get paid. These guys don't get paid a dime. And I want to tell you, they are the best you'd ever have. I've been in this business, I've been in the superintendent of schools for 14 years now, and I've never had a better group of board members than this group. And it's not because they're easy on me, it's because they expect a lot, and they want to see this be the best district in the nation. And I just want to tell you, I'm proud to have them here. Y'all stand up, please. You know, just as Mr. Rippey said, whenever you start school, you know, there's that anxious anticipation. There's that wondering, okay, what's it going to be like? What am I going to be facing this new year? Am I up to the challenge? And I'm not talking about the students, I'm talking about me. But also you as teachers and students. You know, it's a time of nervous anticipation, but also a time of tremendous excitement. And hopefully looking forward to a great school year. And, you know, that's one thing about this business that is unique, I think. You get a fresh start every year. And there's nothing like it. There's nothing quite like it. Also, I just want to say that over the years, we have had a lot put upon us, and we have measured up and withstood it, but it's amazing the number of mandates that we receive each year from the legislature, from the federal government, from the state legislature, and those mandates just keep falling down upon us, raining down upon us. And there's a video, I think, that we have a slide that shows that. Bloodborne pathogen training, stranger danger, drug testing, Red Ribbon Week, Earth Day, Black History Month, concussion management, home fire safety, character education, anti-bullying, bus evacuation training. Let's hear it for that. You know, that's just a small group of the things that are put upon us. And what's really sad about that, keep it flowing. I just want them to keep seeing it, okay? Keep it going. What's sad about that is that oftentimes it causes us to lose sight of what we're here about. What we're here about is to maximize the learning for students, all students. And it's more critical now than ever before. You know, it used to be that we were really good at sorting. We used to have dropout as a program. I mean, basically, back in the 50s and even when I was in school, If a kid wasn't successful, they failed out of school, oh, you know, you need to think about getting a GED, getting a job, maybe joining the military, right? I mean, you know, we did a sorting system, and we would then have the kids in the career, in the college track, you know, taking, back then it was honors classes, now it's AP classes or dual credit. But you know what? Today's society basically demands that just about everyone have at least a technical skill or a college education. And we really don't need to be sorting kids. We need to be doing everything we can to maximize their learning across the board. And that's going to be our emphasis this year, is doing whatever we can to see to it that we're maximizing the learning for all students. You know, we've had, I think, a very successful year this past year. And that was with 134 fewer teachers than what we had, not teachers, but 134 fewer staff members. The biggest reductions were in support services and in central office, but still, we also reduced the number of teachers. It increased the class sizes. And in spite of that, you guys were, I think, very successful. And I just want to show you a chart that sort of shows out what our financial challenges are at this time in the state of Texas. And it's a graph that shows back in 2004, we were spending $6,241 per student. Move it on over to 2013, that's, you know, almost 10 years later, and we're basically spending pretty much the same amount of money, $6,861. But if you factor in the consumer price index and adjust for inflation, it's pretty staggering. We're operating, if you factor in inflation, we're operating with $981 less per student than what we did in 2004. $981 per student. If you multiply that times our ADA for this next year, our ADA is anticipated to be about $23,076. That's what we get funding from the state. That means that we'll be receiving, if you factor in the consumer price index, $22,638,000 less dollars. That's depressing, I know, but it's a reality. And it's very important that you communicate that out to the community, that we're doing more with less, because we are achieving, our achievement, you know, we have an increasing number of low SES students too. So our challenges are greater, but we're doing a better job. We're doing as good or better than we've ever done. And we need to be proud of that. And we need to not take it anymore. If you hear criticism about public education, or if you hear criticism about how we're wasting money, my gosh, I mean, we're operating with $23 million less than what we were back in 2004. That's pretty significant, you know? So please, be strong about that. Don't be shy. Someone's critical. Also, I just want to tell you that I had a sort of I guess you'd say not a transformation, because I always knew that you guys have hard jobs, but I went back into the classroom last year for the first time since 1984, okay? That's a long time. Some of you guys weren't even born in 1984, okay? But you know, one good thing from the budget cutbacks is we had to find a way to save money. And so we had all of our administrators substitute teach at least, at a minimum, 4 days during the year. And Gwen, stand up, because she's the one that coordinated all this. Gwen Benton. Gwen, I got the last name wrong. But anyway, Gwen. But Gwen did a tremendous job coordinating all the subs. And I just thank her, because she took that on with a smile on her face, and she worked hard to find substitute positions for us. And I want to tell you, it helped me remember it's hard to go to the restroom, you know? It's hard to get a drink of water even. And, you know, I was teaching a fourth grade class, Valley Creek Elementary. All right. I was teaching a fourth grade class at Valley Creek. I feel sorry for them, but they survived somehow during that day. But, you know, I noticed that we'd been sort of in there, just sort of sitting and not being really active. And I thought, you know, I need to do what Karen Clem said we need to do. I need to do that jamming minute, okay? So I'll start bouncing up and down and, you know, start doing that jamming minute. Before you know it, my back tightens up, my back goes out. And so I'm limping around the rest of the day at Valley Creek, hoping that none of those teachers notice that I hurt myself. But anyway, you know, it's a hard job. It's a very hard job. But is there a job any more rewarding? Not financially, but rewarding psychologically and spiritually than being a teacher. You're making an impact on the lives of kids on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to tell you, I can tell you the teachers that really made a positive impact on me at this time. I'm 59 years old, and I remember them quite well. I remember even what they were wearing when they said something very affirming to me. You know, it just really hit home. And that's what you do every day. You're making an impact, either negative or positive, hopefully, and I pray that almost always it's a positive impact. I want to share with you some of the accomplishments and honors that we received this past year, and we have a video that shows that. These are just some of the things that happened this past year. Now, Burks Elementary Healthy Zone Award, that happened, Burks, let's hear it for Burks. That happened 2 years ago in 2010. They were the first school in the world, not, you know, Dr. Cooper made it clear to me, don't just say in the nation, he said in the world. The first school in the world to earn the honor of a Healthy Zone school. What that means is you have a program that is coordinated between nutrition and fitness. And now we have 14 schools that have received that honor. So let's hear it for all those schools. And you know, I was talking about those mandates, and when I first started hearing about, you know, we need to do more to fight childhood obesity and all that, I had this mindset, here we go, one more thing put down upon us. But you know what? There are statistics that show that there's a correlation between your wellness as an adult and your job satisfaction, even how much you get paid, your success in life and your life expectancy. And so when you say, and when it's been told more than once to me and been shown, that if we don't do something about it, our students that we have right now in elementary school are going to have a shorter life expectancy than what we have. And that to me is just hits you right in the face and says, you know, we got to do something. So that's why I'm so proud that we have 14 Healthy Zone schools here in this district. And we also have, with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, we have 8 schools that are Healthy Zone schools. We have 14 elementary schools that were recognized by the U.S. Department of Agriculture as meeting the requirements of the Healthier School Challenge. Excuse me, I got the numbers mixed up. But I also want to point out that we also accomplished a lot with Intel Corporation. We had 2 schools, Minshew Elementary, okay, and Dow Middle School. Those 2 schools applied and received a grant from Intel Corporation. There were only 18 schools across the country that were recognized as schools of distinction in math and science, 18 across the whole nation. 2 of those schools, 2 of those 18 are from McKinney ISD. You also got to hear the orchestra from Fabian Middle School. Well, not only do they have a wonderful orchestra program, but they must have a tremendous band program as well. Because at Fabian Middle School, the honor band at Fabian will be going to Chicago, and what they're going to be receiving in Chicago is recognition as being at the Midwest Regional Orchestra Band Competition, and there were only 3 middle schools across the country, only 3 middle school bands across the country that are going to Chicago. It's a very selective group, and Roy Rinsenbrink says it's the honor of all honors among bands across the country. Academically, we can always get better. We know that. But I want to tell you, we set some targets for our performance and in our MAP testing, measures of academic progress. We had a target 2 years from now, okay? Well, in 1 year, we met and exceeded all of those targets in every category except one subgroup. Isn't that amazing? In 1 year's time. So my hat's off to you guys. Also, there are several schools across the country that have 25 to 30,000 students, and they talk about how they have 2 National Merit Scholars. And I'm talking about National Merit Scholars. I'm not talking about commended performance. I'm not talking about semifinalists. I'm talking about the final, ultimate accomplishment, National Merit Scholars. We have 10 this past year. That didn't happen by accident. I mean, yeah, they're smart kids. We're blessed in this district to have a lot of smart kids, okay? But to achieve that honor, it took more than just being smart. It took rigorous curriculum. It took having you guys provide a meaningful, engaging work environment for them. So I compliment you teachers for what you did to have 10 National Merit finalists. And also, we had one student who was a presidential scholar. That is a very prestigious award. Dylan Stahl, Boyd High School, okay? Dylan Stahl received that honor. He's a presidential scholar. There were only 2 in the entire state of Texas that received that honor academically. 2 in the entire state. Isn't that amazing? So that is quite an accomplishment, guys. We would not have done this if we hadn't had good, strong relationships with with our students. That is the key. Expecting a lot out of them, having good relationships. We did a survey with our administrators this summer at the retreat. What we did is we asked them, can you tell us who really made a difference in your life as an educator that really made a difference? And you know what? There wasn't a single example given of, well, they tried to be buddies with me. No, that wasn't it. There wasn't a single example of, well, they made it easy. No. It was that educator really took a personal interest in them. I shared this with the new teachers. I'm going to go ahead and share it right now with this whole group, okay? Daniel Ledbetter is our grant writer, and I want to tell you, he did a tremendous job with the grants. Daniel, if you would, please stand. Are you here? I don't know if I see him. Daniel here? Where are you? All right, Daniel, way back in the back. Okay, all right. You know, I think he's Methodist. I thought it was only Baptists that stood in the back of the room. Okay, anyway, I want to tell you, Daniel, and it was amazing to me how many of our administrators really graduated from McKinney schools and are back here serving our community. Daniel's an ex-McKinney High graduate, and he said the educator that made a difference for him was the principal at his elementary school, because she would hug him, and he felt like she liked him better than anybody else. Well, later on, he found out that so did every other kid that went to that school. Felt like she loved them better than anybody else. And that person was Deb Beasley. Deb, please stand. We have a long legacy and tradition of quality in this district, and we have done a lot to help our students develop a caring attitude. I want to tell you one thing that really inspired me this year was the number of projects that students initiated that really made a difference, not only in the local community, but globally. McKinney North High School, they had, McKinney North, all right? Their student council came up with an idea of raising money to support Mary's Meals. So they went and they contracted with a company in Los Angeles to make these leather bracelets. They found out where they could get them real cheap. And the leather bracelets, they sold for $10 each. One of the, Sammy, one of the students at McKinney North, designed the graphics to put the leather bracelet on a little advertisement that sort of explained what the money goes to. Very professional, just exceptional campaign. And from that campaign, they raised over $11,000. There's now a kitchen in Malawi that was built due to the contributions made to the student council at McKinney North High School. And they have a kitchen now that's functioning in Malawi that they wouldn't have had before. And then we also have at Evans Middle School. Evans, where's Evans? All right. At Evans Middle School, Maya, one of the students there, suggested, well, why don't we do a fundraiser to participate with Aristotle, I can't ever pronounce that, but anyway, a jean company, okay? They had a campaign to donate jeans to the needy. And they came in, I think they only had 2 weeks left. It was like a month-long or 6-week-long campaign. They only had 2 weeks to raise or get the donations. Well, in that 2 weeks' time, they donated enough jeans to finish second in the entire country on jean donations. The only school that beat them was a high school in Tennessee that was much larger than Evans. Evans had over 11,000 jeans donated to them. Isn't that amazing? Fantastic. But I just want to say that I'm looking forward to this year. I think we're in for a truly outstanding year. And you need to be proud of what you've accomplished. We have so much more to do, and we'll sort of learn a little bit more about that this morning. But I just want to say that I'm going to leave it with you with some students that are going to be presenting themselves to you. These students basically told us who some educators are in this room that made a difference in their life. And these teachers have no idea who they are, and we'll just see how it all comes about. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to the students. Thank you.